Hello everyone. This episode is a little interesting because now we're not having a student who is just a student, but student who plays sport. Today we have Antonio. And Antonio, could you briefly introduce yourself to the audience?
My name is Antonio Chada. I obviously come here to Rutgers and I'm on the football team here.
What is your daily schedule as a football player?
Usually pertains that we wake up around 5:45 to 6:15 and we have to be in the door at the football center most of the time around 6:45, 7. We usually have like a short period to get breakfast, and then we have meetings, and then the biggest part is going out to practice. And then after practice we usually have some sort of workout.
And when does that end usually?
Depending on what time the workout ends or when you start the workout, because there's different slots, I usually got out around 1:30 to 2 depending on the day. We practice 4 times a week.
Okay.
Sunday night, and then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday mornings.
So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you guys take a day off?
We practice Sunday, we have off Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday's usually a walkthrough, and then whoever's traveling to the games, they fly or they take a bus to wherever they're going. Saturday's usually game day, and then of course Sunday is practice at night.
Oh, gotcha.
That's at nighttime though, yeah. The only true day we have off is Monday. We don't have any workouts. Monday is kind of the day, like get ready for the next game, meet with any coaches they need to, meet with any trainers, dietitians, stuff like that. But Monday's our busiest day for academics though.
How was that experience as an athlete who has to also study?
A lot of people think that it's like easy to be an athlete, and I think it's really hard because right after we're done football activities, we have to go to either class or tutoring or some other school event, whether it's going to study on your own or study in your room with a friend or whatever the situation may be. They give us mandatory tutors for every class we have, so depending on your schedule, during the season we have 5 classes, so I would have 5 tutors for those classes. Spread out, of course, during the week. We have no classes on Friday, so most of our academic schedule is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So for me, some days I got home at 9 o'clock at night, and that made it difficult to study, or other days I was done around 4 or 5, and then I had a lot of studying to do at night with any tutors or any other study hall sessions.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting to see that you guys have a lot of tutor sessions, especially like you said, how many classes you have. Let's say you have 5 classes, that means you have 5 tutors.
Yeah.
And those are the hours that you actually have to fulfill regardless whether you want it or not.
Right.
So I thought it was pretty packed.
We have our own study building. It's called the Rutgers Center, and that's right across from the football stadium if you've ever been on Bush. But we have to spend a mandatory 8 hours minimum in there during the week. So we check in with our phones by scanning a code, and we check out doing the same. So the tutor's probably around, let's say, 5 hours total. Because each session is 45 minutes, but you have multiple sessions sometimes depending on the classes. But so you probably spend additional 3 to 3.5 hours depending on what you do in the Rodkin.
You have to wake up around 5 to 6 a.m. It's not easy to do that for 4 to 5 times a week, and you still have to go to classes after. Let's say you end your practice at 2 p.m. You have tutor to go, and right after you have classes. You guys only get 4 days because usually Friday is off for games. I just thought it's pretty packed and it's not as free. You guys don't have as much free time as a lot of people expected.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool to mention. I heard you guys have your own dining hall
for
football players. Can you just briefly explain about that?
So in the football center, there's 3 floors. The first floor is, where like the trainer's room is, our locker room, the weight room, and then the nutrition station. The second floor is where all the coaches' offices are, whether that's position coaches or our head coach. We also have the players' lounge on the second floor, which is a really cool and fun room where we have a golf simulator, PlayStation 5, Xbox, a big screen to watch TV. It's just like a place to relax. And we also have our team meeting room. So every day during the season we have a team meeting. That's the first thing we do after breakfast. And then the third floor is the dining hall, per se, where we have our own separate chefs for football. We're very lucky to have that. We get breakfast and lunch, and usually for dinner what we do is we either grab some leftovers from lunch and bring it back with us, or we also have the option of GrubHub, which we get weekly.
I think a lot of
Yeah.
have questions about the GrubHub. Is there any comment that you want to make on that?
People think like we're spoiled, and we are in a good way though, but we work hard for it. But GrubHub is like really a way to, just get something to your room. You have the ability to buy a meal swipe or whatever for the regular dining halls, but that's like a lot of additional money. So the football team gives us GrubHub, so we're not spending all of our money.
So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool to kind of bring that out to you guys,
Yeah.
because a lot of people have like, wow, like these football players get so much money out of it, and you guys are spoiled. But in reality, it's just $15 per meal. So I don't think it's that crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just get into like what is your daily training routine?
Okay.
Because a lot of people may have a question about what athletes do. What is like your normal training routine?
It kind of depends on like which season. So for example, as soon as June starts, we're usually here training. In the summer, we do like an hour of some running or agility training, and then we go in and we do a lift. Usually it's 2 days of arms, 2 days of legs, and Wednesday's usually off. Or in the summer, it's practice. So Monday we'll do arms in the summer. Tuesday will be legs. We'll have practice on Wednesday in the summer. Thursday will be arms, and Friday will be legs. And usually those last Thursday and Friday are really, really difficult. During the season, everyone lifts on Tuesday after practice. But then if you travel, it's a different schedule. If you don't travel, you lift on Thursday and Friday if it's a away game, or Thursday and Saturday if it's a home game. Now that we're in the off season, it's kind of going back to that same schedule as it was in the summer, except we don't run right now. So Monday is arms, Tuesday's legs, Wednesday we have some sort of like recovery lift that's just like agility stretching or some really light weight. And then Thursday goes back to arms, and Friday goes back to legs, and those lifts are really difficult.
So you mentioned about how those lifts that you do on Thursdays and Fridays are pretty tough, right?
Yeah, they're
pretty
really hard.
difficult. What do you guys do there?
For arms, we do all sorts of kinds of like bench presses. So we have the normal bench, and then we have incline bench, which is where like you're sitting down, but you're like your back's kind of like on a slant, and you lift like this.
Right.
And then we have a close grip bench, and that's like a whole different kind of bar. It's not like the typical bar. It really works your pecs more. On top of that, we have whether it's arm curls or tricep exercises, and then sometimes we'll do like grip training. So for example, what we did a couple days ago was we had 2 100-pound plates in each arm, and we balanced on each leg for like 20 seconds one leg, 20 seconds the other. And that's really good for grip training and works like your arms.
Okay. So that's a cool arm days for you guys.
Yeah.
What about the leg days?
Today we had a leg day actually. So what we did was we had back squat and front squat back to back. So usually how that works is, they take like a percent of whatever your max is. So like for me, my max squat's 425 pounds, and then like we'll usually do like a set of 55%, 60%, 70%, 75%. And that's usually for 5 reps each. So I'll have 5 reps of 55%, 5 reps of 65. And then we have like a tremendous strength staff. So they always do like the calculations and such beforehand. So the front squat it's kind of like a combination of a power clean, which is what we do on like day 2, and your back squat combined. So they try and fight like the proper weight, because it's a lot harder to hold it here than it is on your back.
Right.
So it's a little lighter. But for me, my 60% weight is 225, and then I'll go up more and more based on the reps that we do. We also do, like I said before, like various like step ups on top of boxes, holding weights in our hand to work like our quads and stuff like that. I would say the hardest exercise I've ever done, hands down, is as like a lunge, but with like a weight on your back.
Oh.
So we'll have like,
I hate lunges.
Yeah, I know. So we'll have like 200 pounds on your
200
back,
pounds.
and then you lunge you take a step forward, obviously lunge, and then you keep going. And that's usually for like 15 to 20 yards, and we do that like 3 or 4 sets.
Wow. That sounds really rough.
It's like, and that's usually at the end too, so it kills your legs.
I feel like someone may like collapse in the middle, no? Have you ever seen a player kind of collapsing in the middle?
I remember my very first time doing that, I had like tears streaming down my face. It was so difficult.
Wow.
Like they really like want you to strain and build muscle there, so that's like a good sign of strain. And
yeah, for sure.
I'm sure they have collapsed before. I haven't seen it, but extremely difficult.
Because I think especially like when you do exercise like lunges, sometimes your muscles are out of its like capacity, and then you may lose balance and you may fall and collapse, right? So yeah, I thought it was, I think it was pretty interesting to hear about like how serious the lifting is for you guys, and the coaches actually really push you guys to get there. And like even as an athlete like you said it was there, you know, the training made you cry. In a way.
Yeah, in a way. The very first day.
The very first day. What are some tips and strategies for students who may be looking into playing in D1 schools for sports?
The most obvious thing to say is, you know, you got to have a good GPA in order to get get college's attentions. Your goal should be to get above a 3.0. That's probably the best way to get a college's attention, because if you have something less and there's someone that's close to as good as you and has higher grades, why not just take him? Because it looks better on the school. You know what I mean?
So grades matters for those athletes.
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
I didn't know that grades actually matter.
Yeah, of course. If you're not, you know, at that very extreme, then you have to work hard to get to college while having a good GPA.
How does the recruiting work for high school athletes?
The Twitter videos, that's how like coaches communicate with high school athletes, is Twitter. So for me, I always post videos of me, you know, going to kick by myself, or even post game film. To get coaches' attention. I'd follow a lot of coaches, you know, try and message a lot of coaches. The biggest takeaway that I would say is it's really important for a high school athlete to brand themselves and try and get their name out there and get coaches' attention, because, you know, once one offer comes from one school, they all start, you know, coming together. Because then a coach will be like, oh, well, this school's offering, and that means that they trust them, so I think we should offer him. And it's kind of like a snowball effect.
Oh, I see.
In a positive way.
Branding of an athlete is pretty important in terms of getting a lot of offers from different schools. Yeah, I think those are the strategies that high school students can take out from this advice. Thank you very much for coming here today for an interview. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
You're the first athlete that I interviewed. I hope that a lot of people find this content pretty informational and reach out to a lot of students who are looking to play sports in D1 schools. And yeah, like I said, we'll be back, and I'll see you guys next time.
Go RU.